most people believe that learning English means studying grammar. They open grammar books, they memorize rules, they watch English videos every day, but after months, they still can't speak. Why? Because speaking is a skill, and skills are not learned by thinking. They are learned by doing. Think about this. You cannot learn to swim by reading a book about swimming. You cannot learn to ride a bicycle by watching videos. And you cannot learn to speak English by only studying English. You have to speak. That's the truth most people avoid. But here is the real problem. Many English learners say, I want to practice speaking, but I have no one to talk to. No partner, no teacher, no native speaker. So they wait. They wait for the perfect opportunity, but that opportunity never comes, and their English stays the same, year after year. But what if I told you, you don't actually need a speaking partner? Yes, you can train your English speaking skills completely alone. And many advanced English learners use this exact method. The method is called imitation training. But wait, I'm not talking about simple repetition. I'm not talking about listening and repeating the exact same words. That's too basic. Real imitation is much more powerful. Here's how it works. First, you listen to a story, or a speech, or a conversation. Then, instead of repeating the same words, you express the same idea using your own words. Let me show you an example. Listen to this sentence. When I was a child, my parents told me that Santa Claus would bring presents on Christmas. Now, instead of repeating it exactly, you transform it. For example, when he was a child, his parents told him that Santa Claus would bring presents on Christmas, or even better. When I was young, my parents used to tell me that Santa Claus would visit our house on Christmas night. Same idea, different words. This simple exercise trains your brain to do something powerful. It teaches your brain to think in English, not translate, not memorize, but create sentences naturally. And this is exactly what real conversation requires. But here's the secret that makes this method extremely powerful. You don't start with difficult exercises. You train your brain step by step. I call this method easy to hard imitation. First step, imitate small pieces, short phrases, short sentences. Very simple. Second step, imitate bigger ideas. One full sentence, maybe two. Try to express the same idea in your own words. Third step, listen to an entire story, then pause, and try to retell the story completely by yourself. Maybe you won't remember every word. That's okay, because the goal is not memory. The goal is expression. When you practice this regularly, something incredible starts happening. Your brain becomes faster. Your vocabulary expands naturally. Your grammar improves automatically and slowly. You stop translating from your native language. Instead, you begin to think directly in English. And this is the moment when your speaking ability truly begins to grow. You see, children learn languages this way. They don't study grammar books. They don't analyze sentence structures. They simply listen, imitate, and speak. Over time, their brain absorbs the patterns naturally. This is called implicit learning, learning without consciously thinking about the rules. And surprisingly, this is one of the most powerful ways to learn a language. So if you truly want to improve your English speaking skills, stop waiting for a partner. Stop waiting for the perfect opportunity. Start training today. Listen, imitate, transform, speak, even if you're alone in your room. Because every time you do this, you are building the most important skill in language learning. the ability to express your thoughts freely. And once you gain that skill, your English will never be the same again.